This kid got a summer job at a water park. Most employees spent their breaks sitting in the shade or eating a pretzel with cheese.
And milk!
Well, he spent his breaks in the wave pool because every single day people would lose stuff in this wave pool. Sunglasses, necklaces, earrings, wedding rings. People would search for a few minutes and then they would always give up and they would leave. So every single break he would throw on his goggles and he would get into this wave pool. And it's not easy to search the bottom of the wave pool, but this kid was a very talented swimmer and he could hold his breath for an incredibly long time. So he would spend his entire 30-minute break looking around the bottom of this pool. First day he found a gold chain, then somebody's wedding ring, then somebody's waterproof wallet with $50 in it. Now he had a decision to make. Should he take this stuff to the pawn shop to see what he can get for this gold necklaces and wedding rings? But he decided to bring it to the lost and found instead. And more people than not came back looking for their stuff, and they were always shocked that it was there, and they all had to thank this kid. It paid off eventually though, because one lady who had lost her incredibly valuable wedding ring came, and when she saw it, she was so relieved. She gave this kid $600. He was so grateful. He became a legend. He kept doing this every single day. It got to the point where his bosses let him take longer than usual breaks because now he wasn't searching just the wave pool. He was in the lazy river, the deep end of the dive pool, everywhere. And everything he found, he brought back to the office. Hey, you gotta respect the hustle. And that's a respectful one. New kid goes to school, tells everyone he's rich. Yeah, I got a mansion and a home theater and a giant pool with a water slide. Wow, do you have a basketball court? No, I have an indoor basketball court.
That's crazy.
He told people his family had 3 staircases because his house was that big. People believed him because why wouldn't they? And whenever people asked,
why don't you ever invite anybody over?
He always had an answer. The house is being remodeled. My parents also don't like that many people over. And people eventually started treating him like he's royalty. Then one day the school takes a field trip. This kid's sitting on the bus, once again talking about his mansion, talking about the movie room, the big gate that opens up so you can go up the driveway. The bus driver is hearing all of this, and he starts smiling because this bus driver knew this kid from a different town he used to work in. He's also his bus driver in the morning, so he knows where this kid lives. He's an old family friend. So the bus driver's driving through town. He's hearing this kid talk. Then they're about to pass this kid's house, his actual house, a very normal house. Bus driver points out the window and says,
"Hey Roger, there's your house."
And there it is. Tiny house, definitely not a mansion.
Wait, I thought you said you lived in a mansion, dude.
Yeah, that's not a mansion at all.
No, you got it wrong. That's not my house.
Oh no, that's definitely your house. I've known his family for years. But he couldn't fix that. Everyone knew he was a huge, ginormous liar. And they stopped treating him like royalty and began treating him like a lying kid. Hey, nice try. My bike chain broke. Call Bike Boy. This neighborhood had this one kid. Everybody called him when their bike broke. He could fix anything. Flat tire, if your chain fell off, the brakes were wonky, call him. Hey, my brakes are wonky. I'm on 5th Street. You called the right guy. He showed up carrying this beat up old backpack. He drove a bike, and attached to the bike was this trailer thing that he would keep all his tools in, spare tires, chains. He had a bike pump. It was a mobile bike repair shop. He even made his own tiny business cards. Tyler's Bike Rescue, and his phone number. The entire neighborhood kept them in their wallets because you never knew when you needed them. Even parents would put these business cards on their refrigerator. Business started getting bigger and bigger. Suddenly, he wasn't just fixing bikes. He would install new grips, swap the pedals out for something nicer, adjust seats, improve the seats. He was now a bike repair and customization service. Every afternoon, there'd be 2 or 3 bikes flipped upside down in this kid's driveway, and he'd be working on them. People were paying him pretty good. And by the end of summer, Tyler, this random middle school kid, became the neighborhood's official bike roadside assistance and customization. You gotta respect the hustle. This girl was spoiled. It was the first day of 1st grade. The teacher's letting everybody play with blocks, toys, coloring books, all that good stuff. Then after a while, she claps her hands and goes, "Okay, everybody, clean up time." The whole class then begins to put stuff away, except this one little girl. She's still sitting on the floor playing like she didn't hear a single word the teacher said. Teacher walks over smiling. Hi, sweetie, can you please help us clean up? The girl doesn't even look up. She just keeps playing. Honey, it's time to clean up. Then without looking up, the kid says, I don't clean things. The teacher's like, what do you mean? At my house, my maid cleans up for me. What time does your maid come in? Yo, what? Talk about spoiled. Teacher says, honey, we don't have a maid here, and if you don't start cleaning up now, you're gonna be in huge trouble. The kid then begins to freak out, goes to the principal herself. The principal calls her parents. Her parents come and pick her up, and her parents are mad at the teacher. That is messed up. This teacher was brutal for this. If you misbehaved in class, didn't do your homework, or just got in trouble, you had to erase the whiteboard with your clothes. One afternoon, she calls on this kid to answer a question, but he wasn't listening. Billy! Oh, I'm sorry. What was the question? Oh, you weren't paying attention. Come up here, actually. I need you to erase this part of the board with your sleeve. Can I please not? You see, this kid was wearing a brand new white hoodie that he had got for his birthday from his parents. It was expensive, but she did not care. Now! The kid hesitated for a second, but then he went up there with his sleeve and... The right sleeve of that hoodie was dirty, ruined, was no longer pristine. He goes home, and that afternoon when he walks through his front door, his parents are like, yo, son, what happened to your sweatshirt? So he tells the whole story. His dad didn't even finish listening. He grabbed his keys immediately, got into his car, and headed straight to the school. He brings his son with him. The principal is still in the office. Hi, excuse me, my wife and I bought our son this brand new hoodie yesterday for his birthday. Look at his sleeve. The teacher made him do that. Apparently, the principal couldn't believe it. That's kind of sinister. So he said, don't worry, I'll handle this. As him and his dad were walking out of the office, he heard the principal, Mrs. Johnson, please head to my office. And by the next morning, they noticed something. That teacher was on her best behavior, and she never made anybody erase the whiteboard with their clothes ever again. One day, this kid randomly stopped wearing his backpack, and nobody knew why. One weekend, this kid's parents bought a new microwave. So on Monday morning, he starts carrying around all his stuff that would usually be in his backpack, but instead now it's in this empty cardboard microwave box. Not the microwave, just the box it was in. People are staring at him. They're like, that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Teachers are like, where's your backpack? I like this better. And honestly, it worked better for him. The box stood up by itself. Everything in there was organized. He never had to dig around looking for pencils. So here's the funny part. The next week, some kid shows up to school carrying a toaster oven box with all of his backpack stuff in it. Then the next day, another kid came with a vacuum cleaner box. One guy carried around a crock pot box for like a month. Pretty soon, the hallways of the school looked like a frickin' appliance store. Teachers completely gave up trying to understand what was going on, but this kid was just being weird. He accidentally changed the entire school. He started a crazy trend, but it started to get out of hand because people tried to one-up each other and bring bigger and bigger boxes. Kid brought his stuff in a lawnmower box, and it had to be completely shut down. One kid was trying to be funny and was gonna bring all of his stuff in a refrigerator box, but he got stopped at the door. But boy, what a glorious semester that was. That's hilarious. This kid's mom packed him beef jerky in his lunch every single Friday. One morning, she throws some beef jerky in a Ziploc bag for him. Pretty normal. Well, he's sitting down for lunch, and one of his friends knows he has beef jerky. His friend asks, hey man, can I get you beef jerky today? Sure, bro, here. He trades the beef jerky for a bag of chips. Now he's sitting there eating his chips while his buddy is munching on the beef jerky. He's scarfing it down. That's when his mom texts him. The text says, do not eat the beef jerky. I accidentally put dog food in the bag. Oh God, no. Now he's taking a look at his friend who's eating this, and he's like, yeah, that looks like dog treats. At first he's like, I'm not gonna say anything, but that's his friend. He has to, so he does. Hey, bro, my mom just texted me. She accidentally packed me dog treats. You're eating dog food. What? What do you mean? They're not bad, man. I'm gonna keep eating them. All right, bro. Kid just keeps eating the dog food. He liked him so much, he even asked this kid to have his mom pack him the same stuff for the next Friday. That kid is nuts. They're grounded. No! This kid's mom had the strictest grounding rules I've ever heard. When he got grounded, the only place he was allowed to be was his bedroom. She brought every meal upstairs. He had his own bathroom in his room. Unless he was leaving for school, he wasn't stepping a foot outside of his bedroom. Now here's the thing, his best friend lived right next door. Like their bedroom windows were 20 feet apart. Well, this kid got grounded a lot. And the first few times, they would yell to each other through the window, but his mom didn't like that.
Hey, you better not be talking to your buddy.
Well, one day, this kid snuck into the garage when he was grounded, came back to his room with some rope, a couple old skateboard wheels, and a basket. And by dinner, him and his best friend had secretly built a pulley system, going from his window to the other one. Now, when he's grounded, his best buddy is just sending him things to make the grounding easier. They also had walkie-talkies.
Bro, how you doing? I'm sending over a slice of pizza. Oh, thanks, man.
Nice. He would send over comic books, trading cards. One time he asked his buddy,
Hey, can you put your cat in the basket and send it over here? I could use a feline friend right now. No! Okay, that's fair.
and his mom was getting angry because she's like, he's almost enjoying being grounded. But there was a tree right in front of this pulley system, so when the mom was in the front yard, she couldn't see it. His mom never stopped being that intense, but when he turned 18, he moved out with his best friend. They got an apartment, and they were living the life. That's awesome. Every Saturday, this kid went to his little brother's baseball games. Come on, Franklin! And every Saturday, the same thing would happen. All the bleachers would be filled, and parents are arriving. They get to the lawn, and then they realize,
Aw, man, I forgot the chairs!
now the game's about to start, so they have two options. Stand there for the entirety of the game, or sit in the grass. Well, like I said, after watching this happen every weekend, this kid gets a brilliant idea. He goes on Facebook Marketplace and buys 10 folding chairs for almost nothing. Loads them into a little wagon, shows up to the field before the first game starts, and then he waits. Sure enough, 5 minutes later,
Dang it, I forgot the chairs at home.
he walks over. I got a couple you can use. The parents look relieved. Oh, thank you so much. $5 a chair. Not to buy it, to rent it. For the game only. The parent doesn't even think about it. Yes, $5 a chair. You got yourself a deal. Now he's sitting comfy, watching his kids suck at baseball. Other people at the game realize this, see what's going on, and he rents out every chair. And this happens every weekend. He wrote numbers in the back of the chairs so he knows which ones he lent out. Eventually, he has 20 chairs. And then he expanded his business by bringing in snacks that he was selling for cheaper than the concession stand. The kid was a genius, and the parents had a place to sit. Every summer this kid had one job, finding the ice cream truck. He had this little motorized bike, and every afternoon he would leave the neighborhood and start hunting for it. Where are you, ice cream guy? I'm coming for you! He would hunt it down all day. He would follow it. He was tracking it. You see, he had this giant thread that people, friends of his, they joined, and he would update them. Trucks turning left on Maple, stopping in front of the elementary school. It's here for now. I'll let you know when it moves. Send. Soon enough, kids start flooding the area. Then the ice cream truck would move, and he would take off again. Just left elementary school, heading towards Maple. Once it stopped, we are at the park. Kids started flooding. This group chat got so frickin' big. And the ice cream truck driver was so grateful that he even threw Tyler some money because Tyler was the sole reason this guy was getting so much business. And at this point, the two of them were best buddies, kid and ice cream guy, which is kind of weird, but in this case, I promise it was wholesome. You gotta respect the hustle.